Hello, this will be a channeled message for you for your highest good, and I trust that it found you at the perfect time. I really appreciate you being here with me in this moment, and as always, I love you so much, and I'm so proud of you. If this reading found you today, you are incredibly self-aware. I see you healing some deep scarcity patterns at this time, developing a stronger sense of emotional connection with yourself and with others, and unlocking some deep ancient soul codes which are being integrated into the essence of your being. You are literally attaining higher states of consciousness at this time. And in terms of future outcomes, I get the star, which is our freedom and our liberation, feeling more aligned with our higher self and our soul's journey. So, with that being said, let's totally get into the reading. I'm really excited about this one today. And I do set the intention that these readings find you at the perfect time, and I do channel the most high loving source energy, which we are all an extension of. So big shout outs to Source today. I see you showing up as the Five of Swords in the centerpiece of the reading. This is basically your overall general energy. This can be a really challenging archetype. Many people would associate this with negative outcomes, but I don't see that at all. I actually get this really beautiful alchemical process that is happening for you within the mental space through a willingness to look at parts of yourself and aspects of your lower natures, maybe in the past, that we didn't want to look at. There may be some mental ruminations and conflicting thoughts and beliefs at this time, which is totally normal and okay. And I have to say, you are doing amazing through this process, because my biggest takeaway from this card is the extension of the olive branch. You can see up the top there. I see this extension of the olive branch being your higher self, making this peace offering to your lower natures. And instead of trying to control and force and make the lower natures conform to the process, there's actually more of a sense of loving observation, really, and acceptance, unconditional love and acceptance for these lower natures. And through this, I feel like we are really cultivating a deeper sense of inner peace and becoming more whole as we figure out ways to get all of the parts of ourselves on the same page. And it's this energy of really guiding ourselves and achieving this higher state of consciousness instead of forcing. It's more from a place of love is what I'm getting. On the masculine side of the spread, which is the way that we're taking action, it's the energy that we're showing up as in terms of putting ourselves out there, taking action, taking control of the situation. I get the Knight of Wands upright, which is really beautiful. So I see you really enthusiastically moving things forward, connecting with something that you're very passionate about, something that lights you up, moving forward in a really excited way towards knowledge, which is pretty cool. Getting more information, doing more research about something that you're obviously very passionate about, potentially learning through the practical application of the thing as well. And with this knowledge, I see empowerment and sensitivity, which is really interesting. I do feel that the more that we heal all of these aspects of ourselves, these shadow aspects, it's going to open ourselves up to receive more intuitive insights. There's going to be more downloads about whatever it is you're learning about. More of a sense of sensitivity when it comes to the energy. I'm seeing like feeling out your environment, being sensitive to the energy in your environment and putting yourself in situations that are more conducive to your success. Being able to sense future outcomes because of some kind of third eye awakening that's happening here. I'm also seeing the light blue, which is really developing this stronger sense of personal truth as you get more knowledge, as you pursue this information. And I see empowerment as like a sense of confidence, being able to make decisions from an empowered place, seeing things from a higher vantage point. You're really developing a stronger sense of perception around whatever this thing is, whether it's a work, a business thing, it could be your relationships, it could be a sense of personal development and your own spiritual practice. Whatever it is, I see you being incredibly passionate about and really developing a strong sense of wisdom around this thing. And the process takes time, of course, which leads me to the feminine side, where I get the Seven of Pentacles in reverse and the Hermit cards. This is actually really beautiful. The feminine side being the energy that we are receptive to at this time. The Seven of Pentacles, typically you would associate it with like restlessness, maybe feelings of impatience and doubt. And it's totally cool because what I see alongside this with this Hermit card is like identifying the symptoms, which is the feelings of restlessness, and then going deep within and trying to identify where it's coming from. Again, observing these parts of ourselves that didn't necessarily want to be seen, and identifying beliefs and parts of our history that no longer serve us so that we can alchemize and move forward. These seeds that you've sown are incredibly positive, and they are growing through a willingness to nurture and give them the space to grow, give them the time to grow. And sometimes doubt comes with this. And like I said, it's totally okay. You are so incredibly self-aware and willing to look at these issues, and it's creating this more well-rounded and patient sense of self, somebody who's more at peace with the process. You're doing so well. When it comes to these shadow aspects, they're all pentacles. So this is all very tied into our feelings of safety and stability and security in the world. I do see schooling being really relevant here because of this knowledge card. Like, this whole reading seems to be about getting more information and growing into that. So maybe in the past there's been mentors, authority figures, people when we were in that schooling phase that didn't really serve us. And even though it's somewhat tangential, I see us healing a relationship with authority too, because we are stepping into our own sense of personal authority and connecting with something that we are like really passionate about and really lights us up. So there is a willingness to learn. There isn't maybe this knee-jerk reaction to authority that existed in the past because we have been oppressed and put in a box, forced to learn things that we didn't want to learn, forced to learn in ways that didn't suit us because we all learn differently. There's so much identity healing that's happening around this because of the self-exploration. Shadow aspects, I get the Seven of Pentacles, which is pretty funny. That's just like Spirit telling a bit of a joke here, because I knew the issue was the Seven of Pentacles, and it's like, yeah, let's double down on that. Bring it out again, trying to diagnose where these feelings of impatience and not being at peace with the process is coming from. And as unfortunate as it is, I feel like there have been characters in the past that maybe forced us to wait or forced us to feel restricted in really unhealthy ways because of their own personal agenda. So now we're learning to become more at peace with the waiting game, more at peace with that Saturnian frequency, because we're not in those situations anymore. We've moved past that and we're becoming our own sense of personal authority. Seven of Pentacles is a card of Saturn in Taurus, so the Saturn frequency is very prominent in this reading. Alongside that, I get the Eight of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles, which is really interesting. I see the Eight of Pentacles as a card of high standards. Sometimes it comes out as perfectionism, especially as a shadow aspect. And don't get me wrong, I like hard work and I think it has a place in the world. And I like having a high standard for my work when it comes from a place of love, because I want to serve myself and I want to serve other people for their highest good. So that's where it should be coming from. But I feel like maybe in the past we've been made to grow up too fast, or we've had unrealistic expectations put onto us, unrealistic standards put onto us. So some of us are still healing these kind of perfectionist tendencies. And again, you're doing amazing. It doesn't have to be perfect. And we're using this time to learn and grow. And again, like, learn from the practical application from the thing. Sometimes it takes making mistakes. Sometimes it takes this level of experimentation and getting things wrong, even though that's probably not the best word. It's like getting outcomes that we didn't expect or we don't perceive as ideal, which then puts us in a different direction. It inspires creativity, really, at the end of the day, because we're all on our own path. We all have our own way of learning, and we all have our own unique creations that we want to bring in the world. And there's so much healing around this that's being done through feeling more safe and secure in the process. The Six of Pentacles as a shadow aspect tells me that there has been imbalances in the past, obviously, and maybe these feelings of scarcity have caused us to want to hold on very tightly, and there has been some difficulty of sharing. There is a big message here, I think, about like other people's money, receptivity to money, having that strong sense of personal value with all of this Taurus energy in the spread here, like feeling deserving of being paid what you're worth, feeling deserving of feeling at peace with the process, and feeling safe to experiment because things don't need to be perfect, right? And this results in equal give and take, sharing, like being able to relax, become a bit more detached and let go, create more of a sense of material flow in your life through this this process of observation that's happening. So again, like, so beautiful here. You're doing amazing. And what I get with this Five of Swords being in the centerpiece of the overall energy, paired with the Hanged Man, which was on the bottom of the deck, I think this is quite incredible because it creates this really interesting, like, dichotomy here of opposing energies, with the Hanged Man being a card of surrender and the Five of Swords being a card of like sticking to your guns, really trying to bolster your own belief systems at the expense of what other people are trying to maybe put onto you, you know what I mean? Really firmly standing in your own truth and wanting to win at all costs. Like, alongside this feeling of surrender. So I feel like our willingness to move through this process and to learn about something, because this is the thing, like, the starting point is our passion and our excitement. It's something that we really connect with. So our willingness to learn about this thing and to grow and to become better, to expand, right? To become more empowered. Our willingness to do this at all costs has led to some kind of deep understanding that there is a need to surrender, which I think is so hilarious and poetic and ironic and beautiful. I think that is so great. And the whole theme of surrendering to the process and exploring all of the beliefs and the emotions that come with that, and a need to be in our own truth and feel at peace in that, while we try and share this space with other people and collaborate and co-create. Also needing to co-create with spirit and our higher self. There's so much surrender here. And I see you really turning everything upside down, like willingly turning yourself upside down and seeing things outside of the general perspective, really seeing past that egoic sense of self and our lower natures, an acceptance for what is, a deep level of understanding of who we really are. But there is such a strong tethering to the higher self, and there's a stronger connection to our higher natures through this process and through this level of acceptance and surrender. So again, hilariously poetic, and I just think it's incredible, really. And I'm so proud of you guys for doing this work. And not all of my readings resonate with me that strongly, but this one is one of those readings where, like, I'm totally right there with you. And as someone with, like, a strong Aries stellium and heaps of other Capricorn and Scorpio placements, it's like surrender isn't really my strong suit. So go us, right? Look at us go. We're doing great. And shout outs to the Most High Loving Source Energy for supporting us through all of this. I'm just totally getting, like, maybe some more information about these shadow aspects that we can take away from this whole process before we move on. Oh, I get have faith in your dreams, waxing crescent moon. And see, at the end of the day, that's what it all comes down to, is faith. This one came out as well. Don't let pride get in your way. Full moon in Leo. So have faith in your dreams of full moon in Leo. Like, the full moon is the resolution, something reaching its peak, and then seeing very clearly what we need to let go of because it's not healthy. Again, from a place of love, not from a place of force. Force. And I feel like the ego serves its purpose and it has its place, but through this process that you're moving through, there's such a healthy integration of the ego here. It's really all about observing it, being able to observe all of this from a higher state of being. And I see all of this energy moving up through the lower chakras here. Like, there's been a blockage I get, which starts in the root chakra and our sense of I am and connection with the material world. But I really see this strongly being about the sacral and the solar plexus chakra, which is totally confirmed for me with this Leo card coming out. I see all of these reds and these oranges and these yellows in the spread. And then through connecting with these shadow aspects, which are all green, it's like there's a heart activation. All of this energy moving up from the lower chakras, up the spine, into the heart, and then connecting with our sense of faith, like this tethering to the divine state of being and the divine source energy that we are all an extension of. So it's pretty incredible stuff, guys, I will say. Our gift at this time is, on the bottom of the deck, I get Saturn, which has been a big archetype when it comes to this reading, very prominent here, and just needing to be at peace with the process, develop that stronger sense of patience. Like, I feel like there's this feeling of pushing up against the resistance and those areas where we feel restricted, and maybe those areas where we feel like a bit of a page, or we feel a bit like the Fool card, like we're a bit out of our depth and we need to learn. We need some kind of applied knowledge so that we can move forward. Having a real reverence for that and understanding how valuable that process can be. And clarifying Saturn, I get the moon and house 12, which is so interesting. Obviously being able to emotionally nurture ourselves through this process. And I just feel like it all comes back to the emotions, because how we feel on an emotional level is really going to dictate the action that we take. And it really dictates, is this going to play out in a healthy way that is beneficial for me and in line with my higher self? So this is our gift. This is the energy that we can use more of. The reverence for the Saturn frequency, emotionally supporting ourselves through this process and connecting more with our intuitive knowings and our intuitive guidance systems. Because what's happening through this learning process is we're actually remembering things that we already know because of this connection to source energy. So the way I see this is that House 12 is making an appearance because it is our shadow aspects. It is the parts of ourselves that we are ready to let go of and transmute. It's our subconscious mind, the things that we don't necessarily always see, but it is driving our behavior in somewhat mysterious ways until we shine a light on those things. So I feel like through making more space in our vessel, and really in the way that you guys have been doing as the Hermit card, fearlessly shining a light on these parts of yourself, you are making space to clean out anything that does not serve, to let it go with love and understanding and and knowing that this stuff takes time. We just need to be kind to ourselves through this process. But again, letting go of these things and making space for more intuitive insights. And what I feel like is going to be happening here, there may be less research going on, and there may over time be more meditation on some of these concepts. There's going to be more of a sense of intuitive soul knowing, and you're going to be getting these downloads. You're going to be getting this information from spirit and for your higher self. And the thing about it is, it's actually a lot more customized and conducive to your own personal path when you're really receiving this knowledge from the inside out. And that's really what Virgo is all about too for me. I do see Virgo as this incredibly intuitive sign that can receive these inner downloads and be in connection with the primordial waters, like these ancient states of being, this place of energy that we all came from, and being able to bring it out into the world and interface with the 3D reality. That's how I see Virgo. And again, it comes back to the nodes too, where the nodes are at right now. Being able to heal this axis between Pisces, which is house 12, and Virgo. So becoming whole really is what it's all about. Having faith in our dreams, healing these scarcity wounds, and there is this element of forgiveness and inner peace that is happening, a recognition of the lower natures that are really just crying out to be heard and felt. And there's emotional purging that happens here. There is a process that involves just sitting with the feelings and being okay with the emotions that you're feeling, not necessarily applying the narrative and the stories to these feelings, but just allowing yourself to let them come up, let them flow through you, and then release them in healthy ways, whether that's crying or singing or dancing or hitting the bag, or not that kind of bag, hitting the boxing bag is what I meant. Like doing things in really healthy ways is what I'm getting. So this is it's really profound, guys. And like I said, I do get the star in terms of like future outcomes, with the Page of Swords on the bottom of the deck, which is, that's kind of what I was saying, isn't it? Like, getting more information as the Page of Swords here, and like being able to pursue these new ideas, which are really exciting. It's like getting these new ideas and these new downloads, these sparks of inspiration, because of your connection to your higher self and your primordial waters. It's coming from the inside out now. Your intuition is strengthening, like in a really big way. That's what I'm getting. I just want to pull an oracle card on this overall energy, and then let's just keep working through these future outcomes before we kick it, is what I'll say. Boundary stones, negotiations, contracts, communication. Some of you guys have got like pre-birth contracts that you're working through here now, and I feel like there's the element of acceptance here, I think, has a lot to do with maybe some kind of pre-birth negotiations that were made here, so that we could learn these lessons and integrate. Because many times, not all the time, but many times our soul will make agreements so that we can come here and learn the lack. We can learn the feelings of disempowerment. We can learn what it feels like to not know the things that we need to know, so that we can experience the contrast, come out on the other side of that, learn how to integrate these things, learn how to empower ourselves, learn how to develop stronger root systems and feelings of safety and security in this world. Like, that's where our empowerment lies, really, at the end of the day. And you guys are making the conscious decision and using your free will to learn these lessons and move through the process. As painful as it has been, you're developing stronger senses of compassion and self-acceptance and self-awareness, which is allowing you to move through all of these lessons, integrate, and become the teacher, become the hermit, become somebody who can shine that light, because you're mastering the frequencies of Saturn, and you're doing it as the star card. So it creates these feelings of peace and ease in your own skin, like a knowing of self and a confidence in yourself is what I'm getting. And for others of you, I think it comes back to this Five of Swords frequency, or maybe it's both things here, but there is a need to continue communicating, as the Page of Swords would suggest, as a future outcome here. Like, I feel like many of us are in a new space here, and we are nurturing ourselves through these lessons, as the moon and the Saturn frequency would suggest here as our gift. It's like we're nurturing ourselves through this process of being in a new space, of being a page, learning new things, and now I feel like we're really starting to speak our own truth, stand a bit more firm in our own belief systems, and communicate those belief systems to other people in a way that's going to benefit us and benefit others, whether people understand or not. It doesn't really matter, because there's a process that's happening here. And what's important is, I feel like, having that solid sense of emotional connection with yourself, and also learning how to emotionally connect with other people, in the sense that if they don't necessarily understand your truth, or they don't see where you're coming from, through a stronger sense of emotional and intuitive understanding, we can kind of get on the same page with people who don't necessarily understand. And then we can work together. There is more collaboration. There are more fortuitous outcomes in the future as we learn how to really speak our truth. Really interesting there. Contracts, negotiations, and communication, which I love. Wasn't really expecting that. But again, I'm seeing all of this green as well. Like this heart activation, being able to speak from the heart. There's like a direct line of communication now from your heart up into your throat chakra. So you can speak from the heart here. Page of Cups. And the Hierophant. Yeah, it's totally what I'm talking about, eh? Five of Cups in reverse. So again, this sensitivity is what I'm seeing here. Sensitivity to the energies that are around you, and sensitivity to what is actually in your heart, so that you can speak the truth and have that direct line of communication from the heart to the throat chakra. And then I get the Page of Cups, which is this beautiful, innocent exploration kind of energy, the inner child energy, and being able to share your truth, as wild and bombastic as it might be, as out there as it might be, because we're creating a new world here. Like the star card is associated with Aquarius, which is very future orientated. It's very much about innovative solutions that are out there. And I feel like a lot of you guys are really ahead of your time. You're doing things in a way that it's never been done before, because you're connecting with your own personal truth. So your ability to connect with that and share that freely, I feel like is really putting you into a Hierophant kind of position, where people are going to be really recognizing your personal truth, coming to you for advice. You might be a reader, or you might be in some kind of managerial position. You might consider yourself to be a bit of a leader in your relationship, or like within some kind of a family structure here, because you're really pinning down what is your personal truth. There's like a system that's being developed here, a spiritual belief system, which is going to become a lot more palatable for other people as you continue to refine it and explore it and develop more of this knowledge through this kind of applied action, is what I'm getting. And then I get the forward movement, like healing from the emotional attachments to the past and the emotional responses that come up when some of these scarcity wounds get triggered, or some of these feelings of isolation in the past get triggered. Like there is deep healing from all of this through this process with the Five of Cups in reverse, which is so, so beautiful. And then on the bottom of the deck, I get the Ten of Cups. Like, such a beautiful place to kind of leave it there and wind down, because this is our like most high emotional fulfillment through connecting with our own personal truth, like learning to do things in a different way that is less about control and force. And it mirrors the experiences that we've had in the past when we try to force our lower natures to conform and get with the program in a way. Like, we are coming at this from more of a place of love, shedding any kind of unhealthy frequencies of control, needing to control the situation, and just going with the flow. I get the moon on the bottom of the deck again, which is this intuitive messaging that we were talking about, rubbing up against the resistance and the Saturn frequencies, emotionally supporting ourselves through that, recognizing how important that part of the process is, letting go with this House 12 energy and shedding these shadow aspects in a healthy way so that we can make room for intuitive insights here. Stepping into a leadership role, feeling more like yourself, feeling more like you're aligned with your true nature, and reaching like your highest level of emotional fulfillment, 10 of Cups frequency. So let's go. So beautiful. Peacekeeper. A harmonious resolution is possible. Spring, see your seeds grow. Yo, so isn't that basically what I was saying in the reading? 5 of Swords energy. A harmonious resolution is possible through letting go of control, through coming at it from a place of unconditional love, acceptance, observation, and allowing the process to develop in its own time. And spring, see your seeds grow. 7 of Pentacles energy. Guys, you've planted some amazing seeds and they are growing in their own time. And you can develop more of a personal belief system that says the information will be received. Any of your questions will be answered. That could be part of your belief system. You can develop a belief system that says, Spirit provides me with the answers that I need in the perfect time. And you can develop personal affirmations that go something like, I allow my own unique natural process to unfold in its own divine timing for my highest good. You can say things like that. I allow my unique process to unfold in its own natural divine timing, which may really help. But you guys are doing amazing. I have to say, this is a really profound reading. Again, so much self-awareness, acceptance, and unconditional love for the process. So I love you guys so much. I have so much unconditional love for you guys. And thank you so much for being here with me on this journey as we all move through some of these challenges together and we continue to learn, we continue to grow, and we continue to expand as soul spirits, right? And it's so true. Like, we are all walking each other home. That's so true. And you guys are constantly helping me, and then I get to share the information that I learn with you, and it's so incredibly helpful and symbiotic, and it's beautiful. I'm so grateful for you guys and the way that you support me and you continue to feed me with all of this beautiful information. So thank you. I'd love to hear about your own personal experiences with this in the comments. And with that, I will totally leave it there. Thank you guys so much for sharing this space with me, and I absolutely cannot wait to do it all again in the next reading. I love you guys. Bye-bye.